Hello everybody, and welcome to the first video installment that I plan on making. I just wanted to go over a little bit of how I made these porcelain blue dice. I started out by making these white blanks. Super easy, super simple to do, and we're just going to paint those up. I'm using a technique that I actually haven't seen anybody else before use, and it's using these nail stamping plates. I've gotten them from a few sources. There's some cheap ones that you can find on Amazon. There's some a little bit more expensive, but I think a little bit better quality ones that I got from Maniology. These particular ones are specific to this like porcelain blue pattern that you often see on kitchenware and on plates and things like that. So I'm going to go ahead and use this. Okay, to start out by doing this, you need a good clean area. I put some paper underneath because it gets a little bit messy, and I'm just going to be spreading some of this nail gel along the side of it. There are many different ones that you can use. I got the gel in particular instead of the polish because it lasts a little bit longer. This is from the brand Beauty, and it's the black blue, and we're just going to spread it across the edged plate, which is then going to transfer over. A couple of things that I do want to note about the gel instead of the polish that's out there. The gel absolutely will not cure without a UV lamp, so please keep note of that. You can tell in some of the future mistakes that I make where I blur it over after I print the image onto the die. But application is really easy. Once you got the gel spread, you just transfer it over onto this silicone little stamp, and you can see through it, which is fantastic. So you can line it up and you just press it into the blank that you want to decorate. I fold it over here, and I do notice that there is a little bit of an issue when I do that because it does blend it a little bit, but other than that, I think the print came out really nice. You can clearly see what the details are in it. Kind of bugs me a little bit that it didn't blend all the way over to the other side of the dice, but I'm going to try to fix it here by go ahead and stamping onto it once again. And I hate it, but that's okay because I haven't cured it yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some nail polish remover, and this is where my excellent video skills come into play. Note, this is my first video that I've ever made for YouTube, so please forgive me. I'm just wiping off the little piece that I messed up using a Q-tip that's soaked in nail polish remover, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try it again. What I really like about this pattern is that it has so many details and there's so many crazy things going on that it doesn't look too bad even if you're overlapping patterns. But this is the D4. I think it came out really nice, and I'm just gonna move on from here. One of the things that I'm hoping to perfect with this technique that I've come across is rolling it over to the other side. As you can see with the gel, I just have to stamp it off onto a piece of paper and the pattern comes completely off, and that gives me a fresh coat so that I can move on to another face of the die. That's one of the benefits of the gel. The nail polish, it dries really, really quickly, and you have to pretty much do one stamp at a time because by the time you're done stamping it, it's already dry, and you use a piece of tape to take off the dry bits. But the cleanup is actually really simple. It's really easy. With the gel, you just stamp it onto the paper a few times and you use a little bit of nail polish remover on the plate, and it is good to go, and it is ready for you to go ahead and keep on stamping. Don't worry, the whole video is going to be of me stamping each and every face of my 8 set dye that I do, but this part I wanted to show you that top left pattern actually has a pretty big significance when it comes to this pattern. I thought I'd do a little bit of fun facts as I did a little research dive into this style and pattern making. And you know, you see it on vases and everybody knows that it's Chinese, but I didn't really know a lot about it, so I decided to look into it a little bit more. So the style is called Qinghua. It literally translates to blue flowers or blue patterns. The origins are a little bit of a mix, but it's known to have been mass produced in early 14th century China, in large part due to the Islamic trade of cobalt. The reason why that's important is because cobalt was the only pigment that was able to withstand the high temperatures needed to kindle porcelain. That pattern that I just made before switching over to me inserting the dice blanks into the mold is actually a very famous pattern. It's called the Blue Willow pattern. And it comes with a story about star-crossed lovers that were turned into turtle doves, which while I was researching this, but I did not look it up, I wonder if that's where two turtle doves come from. Probably. There are also other symbolism that you can find on it. You could have peaches or cranes, and that stands for longevity, pearls for wisdom, coins for wealth, and so on and so forth. So this is 24 hours later after putting the inserts into the dice blanks or the shell cast. I don't know how other dice makers can just take off the top and it's not a problem. I get thick flashing. I still haven't perfected my technique in the least, but pulling off the flashing really isn't that big of a deal to me. I think it's kind of fun. It's sticky. Do I wait a full 24 hours? No, I don't, but it's okay because I don't know, I'm fine, I'm alive. I use a respirator and gloves with raw resin, so it's okay. Before I pull my dice out of the mold, I tend to stretch it and pull it a little bit and try to get the numbers out of the dice before I pull it out. When I was first starting to create my own custom dice through the 3D printer, I went through all the steps that everybody goes through, the cure inhibition in our regular platinum based silicone. So I got tin based silicone and wanted to create dice from that to then use on my platinum based silicone. But the numbers kept on ripping out of the molds, which makes the entire mold pretty much useless because dice without numbers are just geometry. So here are the dice pulled out. I think they came out really well. I think in the future I'll probably not have as much on the dice, just little pops of blue maybe on the corners so that the numbers after painted don't cover it up, but I'm actually pretty happy with how they came out. I do have a little bit of a mistake there. You can see that gold flake in the face of the die. So just as a note to myself and others, do not try to make several different kinds of dice at one time unless you can completely keep them separate, or little flakes of metal will get into your clear, pretty, freshly casted die. But it's okay. We live, we learn. I'm new. I really like how this came out. The dragon came out really pretty on top there. That's my symbol D20, and I wanted to make sure that pattern was up in the front so that when you roll the D20, you can see the prettiness of it. So enjoy. I decided to paint them with a really pretty gold because it kind of reminds me of kintsugi when you fix pottery or something with gold. And I think it's a really nice contrast, and I think I've seen it elsewhere too. Thank you for watching.